Hello, I'm recording this announcement in the middle of work with this video. Bethesda actually just announced that they will be patching beta for last two sessions. There will be two more sessions. Ignore the fact that later in the video I say that I played the last session. There are still more. And they will be patching the beta for the last sessions. Which means that some things that I criticize in this video probably gonna get fixed, like AI or visuals, maybe lagginess. We'll see. I'll make a report video later, but my main criticisms still are valid as far as I think, and that's why I keep the video. Hope you enjoy it. Hello, I really wanted to make this video go out as soon as I can, pretty much. I'm not gonna spend huge time editing it, but we're gonna talk about Fallout 76 beta. Yesterday, it was November 4th. It was the last beta session until the game release. Game's gonna be released in like 2 weeks from now, I believe, maybe one. But I wasn't initially planning on playing beta. Because I never was really hyped for the game. I just happened to get a key from my friend and I played it on this TV with my PS4 that I purchased recently, and I have quite a few things to talk about. So let's start off by saying I was playing on PS4 normal, fat PS Pro. Oh, not Pro, there's PS4. And it didn't run too well. It ran pretty badly, actually. Most of the time I'm just gonna put some clip from how it looked, and when I'm gonna be talking about specific stuff I will put the clip of specific stuff on the background. But there's quite a few things we need to talk about. First of all, let's start from talking about the engine. It runs on Fallout 4 engine, so it's old game technically and visually. That engine is 4 or 5 years old by now, and you would expect it to work perfectly, and the most shocking thing, it doesn't. It runs horribly. It looks bad as well. Some people were saying, like I heard people say, well, it's beta, they can fix it later, but why does the engine that is already used in like one entire game that had gone through the entire PlayStation cycle just look so bad? It looks blurry most of the time. Some textures look like they're straight up from PlayStation 2 era, and probably it's different with like PS Pro or PC version, but the normal PlayStation version compared to Red Dead Redemption 2 that I'm also playing right now, it looks awful. It looks fucking awful. I mean, it has its charm. I won't say it's like necessarily bad. It has some really nice looks there and there, but overall, it's very ugly. The game is ugly. It also lags. It drops frames to like mostly just that can't run at stable 30, so it like goes around 20-30 frames, and then I went to a late area and the game just freaked out and went into cinematic 12 FPS or something. It looked really bad. It would lag sometimes, just freeze the frame and then load the next frame after like, I don't know, a couple seconds. Your movement speed is based on how high your frame rate is. You probably saw the video on the Reddit, so if you look down, I don't think I have footage for this because I haven't bothered, but if you look down and create no lag, you will run faster, which is weird because this isn't a multiplayer game. Like, how does this work? What? Okay, fine. What else about engine? Yeah, I mean, the amount of options presented in beta was very low. There was no field of view, which kind of bothered me at first, but I'm used to playing games with shitty field of view built in without the ability to change it, so it doesn't bother me that much. What else was there? Yeah, I mean, just many things looked ugly from the game that already gone through the entire cycle of PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. I heard it also lags on PC versions for people who have no issues with Fallout 4, which is weird because engine is exactly the same. I didn't see any notable differences. So yeah, the world design is, yeah, it's fine. The world is the selling point of Fallout games. Basically, if they can make the world work, uh, it will be a good thing. And I like the world of every single Fallout open 3D Fallout game I played. I haven't played 2D Fallouts. I haven't played 1 or 2 or like Brotherhood of Steel or whatever. I only played 3. I played New Vegas and I played 4. Not that much of 4. I wasn't a huge fan of it. I actually don't like the Fallout 4 engine at all. I hate how people look in that game as opposed to New Vegas. But it's a completely different story. This is just preferences. So you can like it, and there is no problem with it. World looked pretty good, as I understood. The kind of the West Virginia, the area where you start, isn't entirely hit by nuclear explosions. That kind of makes sense because otherwise everything looks way too polished. Buildings look way too stable. Like everything looks like it wasn't touched by a nuclear war at all. There are some areas on the map that look like there might be a big ass nuke crater or something. I don't know. Maybe. You'd expect a lot of things to just disappear off the planet. Like New Vegas does it pretty well. There is nothing in New Vegas. The entire Vegas is pretty much rebuilt from the scrap because everything just got fucking nuked. And that's good. They're like, yeah, I mean, I won't go into full detail, but the world is nice. I went far. There are like level scalings of enemies. Some locations are more interesting than the others. Like there are some nice environmental stuff in every single area, pretty much. I haven't explored that much of a map. My first beta session, I kind of ended up just running around trying to do as many quests as I can that I found, like events and stuff. And then on the second one, I just went, alright, let's just go into full-on exploration. And yeah, there are some nice things, like you go into some church and there's like everything, like they were worshipping some kind of weird god, and then there are things on the wall. It's like kind of creepy and stuff. And then you go to there was the level the area that I really liked was a very Skyrim-esque dungeon. It was a mine facility where you can go deeper, and there wasn't really any big storytelling, but I just liked the overall shape of the area. It wasn't that chaotic. I don't know. Like this is about Fallout buildings, something I don't like. I later went to a school area, and while it was interesting because it was like in Halloween setting, so you can kind of see when everything gone to shit. There is more idea to which dates everything happened, and a more clear how's that? The view on the situation, whole Fallout universe. It's pretty cool. I mean, but the whole building is just everything's crumbled around. There's a lot of garbage lying everywhere. You're just walking around. There are enemies popping out from all over the place and just in front of you from the thin air. But I'll talk about that in a second. And you just you get lost. There is no environmental map, at least I haven't found it. The only map that is available or like is easy to find is a world map. So if you go into a dungeon, like in a building area, in the hub area, I don't know how to call it, that requires you to load from the world map, from Appalachia, whatever it's called, and go into like a school or a dungeon or mine. Or what was there? There was like a Nuka-Cola plant. It will load quickly and there will be no map. So you can kind of get lost if you're not the kind of a person that can easily like find yourself in that kind of area. And I found that a bit disturbing. I also find myself lost in those big building areas. I didn't like Nuka-Cola plant because it was basically as every other Nuka-Cola plant in Fallout universe, like exactly the same. And I didn't like that school area, even though it was decorated nice and it was actually interconnected somewhat fine. I like the airport hub. It was really condensed. So when the building is like small and you can clearly see where everything connects, you just go inside and kill everything and then collect everything and go out without getting lost. And that's what I want from it. Well, not all the time. There are some probably good examples of big interconnected area that hides its secrets. I mean, this game's selling point is exploration. Me as a solo player, I don't like co-op games all that much. The game I played co-op the most with friends, I mean, with which is like a story-based game, was Borderlands 2, and we ran through the story. I completely didn't understand what the fuck just happened. I had to replay the entire game on my own to get into the story, and I kind of feel that there will be a thing with this game. While I was playing into beta, I was running into some holotapes. Like, there is quite a lot of them. They're one of two main ways of delivering story. There are holotapes and there are notes. That's all there is. I mean, computer logs is basically just notes as well, because you just have to read them. I haven't read mostly anything, just due to the fact that I only had a limited amount of time and I wasn't going to buy the game anyway. So I was like, I need to see and hear most I can see. I can figure out. Of course, you can read messages. Like in that one, the first town hub area, you kind of get to the building where there's a bunch of someone's missing or someone's sorry to someone message board, and there are like kids writing to their fathers and mothers. Like, that area looked depressing. Like, I would say that storytelling of what there is of the storytelling is done really good, but it feels really fucking empty. And that's where we get to another point. The plot makes no fucking sense. Okay, I mean, the main premise, the plot is good because the area wasn't hit by nuclear explosion, so you go out and everyone's dead. And it seems like they aren't dead for a long time, some of them at the very least, due to what you get from holotapes. So you gotta figure out what the fuck is happening, but for whatever reason, Overseer leaves the vault before everyone else does on the same day, and you're just so far behind Overseer that she already put a bunch of camps around. She left a bunch of holotapes in seemingly random places. And I can see that being a good setup for, you know, let's imagine you're joining this game like 1 month after release. So there are people already exploring the vault. So you're waking up in Vault 76 and they're like, oh hey, you've overslept. And that makes sense, that's good, that's actually a perfect thing. But when you're there at the server launch and you're like, oh hey, but you overslept, like, what? And they're like, some people already left. Who? There are no other people in the world. There's only Overseer. Who... Cat, please, go away. Who I have no idea if he's even alive. Like, your main story is you following the holotapes of Overseer from one place to another, and then you discover some notes on laptops or some holotapes from other people, and you go exploring more, and you're trying to figure out what happened in West Virginia, why is everyone dead, how Scorched appear and everything. Scorched, by the way, are really cool enemies. I really like them. The whole airport area, while being extremely messy and I didn't have much time to explore it, looked really fucking cool. It looked like the whole like area around the what's that, the air control tower, it was covered in Scorched. Like, apparently if they don't move for a long time, if they freeze or something, there was a holotape about that, and they just freeze like how's it, the volcano thing which happened like long time ago, and people are like covered in some body, and they're like in different poses. Some are like lying, some like, and they're dead. They're just dead people, and some Scorched are just mutated. I like how they look. I don't like how ghouls look in Fallout 4 engine. But Scorched are really cool. They're like somewhat intelligent. They can use guns, but they're just going through endless. They're just brainless. They just suffer, and then they turn into stone or something. And that was pretty cool. And the whole storytelling is you chasing an overseer that's left for whatever reason, and this whole premise makes no sense in context of PvP in this game. Like, Vault 76 is supposed to rebuild America. Yeah? Alright? Got it? Pretty good. Why in the fucking world would people from this world who basically exist to save their country, and I imagine America being a very patriotic country, like that, me from my perspective, this is how it is. Why would people want to kill each other? Just straight up kill. Like, cooperation makes sense, but you can do some things like you can nuke, like, of course I haven't seen that happen, but you can nuke other players' bases. Why? Why would you do that? I mean, of course there can be like extremely mad people and supposed kids who go out of this world because it was closed for what, 25 years or so. They can be having different view on the world and things, but doesn't that sound dumb? I haven't tried PvP. Let's go to a multiplayer perspective. I haven't tried PvP or PvE in this game. I'm just not interested. I would really wish you could just play offline, but you have to be constantly connected to internet and to Bethesda server in order to play. So that kind of sucks. You're getting thrown in the world where there's like 20-30 people, not that many, and they're just on the map. First things first, if you're gonna do the story on like launch day or like within time where the game is still relevant, you won't be able to really go deep into like the lore of every single location, because on every day I noticed that the mission areas, they're always populated. Like the first town hub, the airport hub, and I actually have no idea where you go after airport. I only got to the airport because after I got to a town on first day, there was so many people. Like there were like 10 people running around. I was like, oh my god, I can't read shit, I can't listen to shit because they're making some noise, and that really distracts me. I just went down the map to a Nuka-Cola plant, and there's like a giant teapot where the robot serves you tea, and that's like a vent. And then on the next day I went to airport after everyone was gone from the airport, so I was kind of alone there. The only time I was like close to cooperating with a person is when I was going to airport. There was that one guy who really wanted me to join his team, and on the point where I was like, okay, if he asks me one more time, I will actually accept it because we're still going one direction. I don't mind trying it. He kind of gave up, and that's when I went into a mine section, and I really liked it. One of my favorite sections in the game so far. There was also a really great giant bridge area where it had a door that was closed, and well, as Fallout universe goes, normally that's sort of a key from that door because it said required a key. The key would be somewhere around, so I tried going through the entire bridge, scanning like every single car and people and person who's like on the side of a bridge, just to get inside the bridge and figure out what's there, what's closed there, what can you find there. And I accidentally slipped and fell off and died, and I never came back to the bridge. Like the physics are really wonky, so if there is like the gap that wide and you land like here, you'll fall, just fall. Like you have to land like in the middle, and it's kind of hard to do with PS4 controls. Obviously should be way easier with keyboard and mouse, but I had what I had. So yeah, I didn't like the multiplayer aspect all that much, but I guess if you're just playing, you just want to have brainless fun with your friends, go for it. I won't even say this game is bad for it, though there will be things that I'll say this game could have been better. So yeah, haven't tried much of co-op. Seen a lot of people. Some guy I think was trying to fight me. Oh yeah, about co-op things. There are these like benches, but like not the crafting bench. There are like base benches which also bring you resources or something, and you can capture them. I found that pretty interesting. So basically, you capture a house, you clean the area from, if it's not claimed by anyone, from like basic enemies. Like I had to fight little Chinese robots, and then you build defenses, and events start happening in this area, like mole rats attacking or super mutants attacking. And if you defend, you get valuable resources. And on the map, the area shows like it has 6 different types of resources it gives you, and I'm not entirely sure if it just gives you it over time, or if it is anything you can get through the events. I only did one defending event because it happened pretty much as soon as I claimed the area. There was a mole rat attack. It was also glitchy, but whatever. So yeah, then I found that whole concept pretty cool. So you can leave this base, defend it. If your defense is good, you will also win defense. You just won't get the points, as far as I understood. And that's fine. What else? So yeah, let's go to AI. AI in this game, and like the enemies, they were glitching pretty often. Let's just go to the glitches, because normal AI is not that interesting. I mean, it happens, but there are a lot of instances of stuff loading in front of you in the engine. Like you see there is nothing in front of you, and then pop, there are like buildings. Or there are buildings that aren't too far. You look at them, they're all blurry. This is not really bugs, this is just lazy optimization or whatever. It was really annoying. Most of the times everything was out of focus and blurry. Even when you were looking at it, it was distracting. There was that very annoying glitch visual that I was actually kind of afraid that it might be something wrong with my PS4, but I haven't seen something like that anywhere else. When you would go, and I haven't seen anyone else talk about it. I guess nobody played PS4 beta, only played like Xbox and PC. But when you would go into, and it's very specific, into weapons bench, repair modify section, the whole screen would just go to shit. You can see that on screen right now. I'm probably including this and there was no way to fix it. It was happening only on weapons bench menu. It was so goddamn awful. I like tried to leave the area as quick as I can. Since I started talking about benches in the middle of bugs, let's just quickly say that I like the crafting in this game. It was fairly interesting. I believe it's very close to what Fallout 4 was. You collect all kinds of shit you can find, then you scrap it, then you put it in your... There is a big box that is situated in many areas. You can find it. It's like your home stash. It has a lot of weight. You can just store all the junk there, and you can craft with it wherever you are. It's very easy. Some resources are harder to find than the others, such as natural things, and then you disenchant weapons to get extra weapon part modifiers. You find papers with like armor enchantments, which you can craft later. Like this is all pretty easy to do. It felt okay and didn't feel like it was bad. What other glitches? Like enemies, and I don't know if that was due to me having... I had a lag while playing. It was noticeable, but it wasn't really annoying, because I wasn't trying to fight like any super strong enemies or whatever. Enemies would pop out of thin air or get stuck in a garbage because they probably would start following one player, and then the player goes away, but all those enemies are just going. So I had robots getting stuck under the bridge in the first town. Then later I was defending Teapot, and you should defend like 3 towers there or something. And the enemies would just collect, like stop around one area and just won't move from there. And they were just there. I was like, okay, and then you start shooting them, and they all run at you, like all 9, 10 enemies. It's like kind of scary. About scaling enemies, even if you go in a when you get to airport area, the normal enemies that you should be fighting, if you follow the story, are like around level 6. But even there are still level 1 enemies, which is very odd. And I decided to go to a late game area. And if you go to a late game area where enemies are like level 22, that's basically the mobs you just farm for loot and stuff. There were enemies level 6, so I could kill them easily. I could kill, not that easily, but I could kill 22 level enemies as well. And there was some cool design enemies. There was like that hive beast that was shooting bees at you. There was like that Wolverine-esque kind of dude. And they were nice. I haven't seen many of them. I just died then and just stopped playing. So yeah, exploration is good, but there were so many weird visual bugs with enemies and AI. Enemies, as I said, will pop out of thin air. Only parts of them will load. You will go through the road just to figure out that there were enemies on that road, and they start shooting you point blank range, and you turn around, you still don't see them, and then they appear, and that really sucks. That's really bad. That shouldn't be happening. You can just die from that. Then there were enemies T-posing at me. The animations won't play, and I would just go in a T-pose and slide around, or they would get stuck in one animation and they would just slide into that until they do some action like cover behind the wall. That was really odd. There was that one guy who was just the cherry on top of a cake, who started aiming at me, and then he had a brain delay or something. He just froze, so I took my time to take a few photos with him. So I basically was standing in front of him, like you can see that, and he was like, yeah, sure, do whatever you want. So yeah, I mean, not much else to say. I think I covered everything massive that I wanted to cover about this game. Now, did I like the beta? I had fun with it. It was fun. Exploration was fun. The game wasn't good. It looked bad. The new Watts system is garbage. It's basically auto-aim for babies. The leveling system is interesting with cards and stuff. Oh yeah, another thing, the beta already had the look on the microtransaction shop. So there is this atomic currency, whatever it is, which you get for in-game achievements. And you can buy some stuff with it, and I believe you can also buy that currency or things for real money. I haven't looked much at that whole atomic shop thing, but be worried if you care about that stuff being in the game. It didn't seem like there was anything pay-to-win-esque. It's just basically skins and like emotes, like all the kind of unnecessary shit. But you know, they're already there. They were implemented in beta, so there was no field of view slider, but there was atomic shop. Keep that in mind. That doesn't bother me. I mean, cosmetic microtransactions isn't something I'm gonna ramble about even in a full price AAA game. I just don't care. It just doesn't get me. It's fine. Yeah, this whole world seems very empty, despite they really try hard. The voice actors on whole tapes, they really try hard to bring the hero, like their characters to life. They have one shot at it, other than Overseer. Everyone else just has one line, and they basically are about to die in some sort of way. This is like their last words, like their diary or something. And they really give away the emotion. Like there is a girl who got trapped in a storage room and she was like suffering from a stomach ache because she was hungry for weeks already at the airport. It would sound like she's really desperate, but at the same time as she's like already passing out. Like the voice acting is really good and everything's good, but this is all the storytelling there is, and the world still feels empty because nobody is in there. And what I think this game should have been, this game should have been just a season pass. Like they did a very expensive season pass for Fallout 4. They should have just done Fallout West Virginia. Like I don't know, get it to God whoever did New Vegas. I forgot Obsidian. Give them like the setting and get hey tell us a story, and then make it if they want a multiplayer game, just make it one thing set in the same universe, but like I don't know, 50 years before a main story. Like main story already have people around, you can talk, you can explore, everything's sort of different. You try to figure out what happened right after the nukes came out and people tried to survive. And you just have a main game where you go in a world where everything's established, where there's like Brotherhood of Steel and everything. People live in settlements. The life goes on. And just have that as season pass. Even like 40 bucks for this in a world, pre-established world, which would make a different type of replayability to a world. You could re-explore everything. Maybe it would be different. I think that would have been actually amazing. And paying 60 bucks for a main game and 40 bucks for that would have made sense. But now you're just paying 60 bucks for this. And I can't see that being good. I can see paying 100 bucks for almost the same experience, which has actual story going behind it, and then different experience to that story that you could play. I could see that being a thing, but paying 60 for this, nah, man. Not on PS4 at the very least. So yeah, if you want to play this with your friends, I say go for it. It's brainless fun. Explore, like, if you could play it offline, maybe I would have gotten it and just played every now and then. It's just another survival game. That's what it is. Oh yeah, there are survival mechanics that are always in play. Hunger and thirst, they're always there. So keep that in mind. Some people really like them, some don't. I really am not a huge fan of those. They didn't seem to be extremely ham-fisted into this game. They're pretty tame. Like they don't always tell you, hey, you need to drink, hey, you need to eat, and it like goes on every 5 minutes. Like, it's not that terrible. It's like sometimes you have to eat, sometimes you have to drink. But what I think Fallout 76 is in the end is a waste of a possibly great concept. Yeah, I think it could have been a great game if it had a story which wasn't told the way it is told. And this was just another experience since they want a multiplayer game. Which is fine. I mean, they want it. Sure, let them have it. But I don't think many people will... I mean, that many people will enjoy it. At least I won't until it has an offline thing. I kind of don't like the whole multiplayer aesthetic to it. But, you know, give it a shot. I'm gonna leave the links to the entire sessions. Some parts of it are muted because music from Fallout is extremely sensitive and Twitch doesn't like it. It's gonna be Twitch videos because I can't just upload those to YouTube without getting the videos completely blocked from everywhere. And you can decide for yourself if it looks like something you like or something you don't like. I might check that game in a couple years. Like right now I won't check Fallout 4 when everything came out. It might even work on my PC fine. I don't know. It used to run really badly on my PC. I didn't like it. But now I might check it because it's been years. But this game in this current state, let's see what they go with it, what they add to it. maybe there will be something different. Maybe they will add the story mode to it, which actually makes sense and interesting, and it's like set in later in the future. But as of right now, Fallout 76 is pretty empty, even though it should be. Pretty boring, and as for my beta experience, despite all the laughs that I had and good time, there's a lot of things I didn't like visually and just design-wise. I'm gonna give it 5 out of 10 by now. I mean, of course, that doesn't translate to a full game, but I had chance to play beta in many games. That's one of the worst ones. Yeah, not sold to me. Sorry, Daddy Todd Howard, but Fallout 76 is going past me. And that's all I wanted to say, I guess. Well, that took way more. So leave your thoughts. Did you like the beta if you could play it? Do you agree with what I said? Or maybe you found something else not happening to you, or something extra annoying happening to you that I haven't experienced. So yeah, hope you liked the video. If you like, press a like, show your friends. Hopefully it's interesting and has something good in the background, because I'm currently just recording this and it goes for 35 minutes. Awesome! This gonna be a full length of video, whatever. Yeah. Have a good day, and remember, war never changes.